Yes. You have tuned in to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. Today's podcast is brought to you by Faith versus Fear, Breaking Family Ties, which can be found and available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. This podcast is designed with you in mind to remind you that you can always click that reset button and start all over again. It's never too late to be great. So now I want you to sit back. I want you to relax. I want you to clear your mind. Take in that deep breath. Prepare yourself for change as we listen in on Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. Let's go. Yes. Welcome to the Renewed Mind Revolution podcast. I am your host, Michelle Cook Hall. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and my pleasure to be able to share some tips, some tools with you that I know will assist you in becoming a better you. Today is a great day. Why is it a great day? Because we are walking in the land of the living. We are breathing the air from the land of the living, which means we have another opportunity to get it right. We were awakened. Come on, we were awakened this morning. Therefore, we know that every day that we are allowed to open our eyes and breathe in air, we still have purpose. We still have something that we need to accomplish here on this side of glory. So I am excited that God still has plans for me and that God still has plans for you. So that's a good start of our morning, a good start of our day, just to recognize that we still have some work to do. We still have purpose. There is a reason why we are here. Listen, today, let's just get into it. Let's talk about an afterthought. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about that. You know, I like to give you something that will give you a thought. Look at me playing with the words, you guys. But I want to give you something that's going to give you a thought today. And what I want to talk about is an afterthought. We always talk a lot on this particular podcast about thinking, right? The title of our podcast is Renewed Mind Revolution Podcast. Renewing of our minds, right? The ability to undo all of the damage that's been done since, in some cases, birth, right? So, for example, really quickly, someone could have been taught, indirectly or directly, that they are worthless, that they have no purpose, that they were a mistake. And that would play a part in their development. And if you think that's not going to affect them in their life, then you are in denial. So this podcast is, talking about individuals who maybe not from birth, but maybe, middle age, maybe teenage, doesn't matter, but has had very negative thinking, which has manifested into a physical or mental or emotional issue. And so we just talk here about taking the time to, look at it, get to the root of the issue, knowing that there is a resolution there is a way to heal from that issue, uprooting it, and begin the healing process. We talk about that it's never too late to click the reset button and start all over again, because you could start from your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, 60s, 70s. It doesn't matter, as long as you are walking in this, world, as long as you're breathing in this world. Let me not say walking, but as long as you're breathing, as long as you're alive, as long as you are, on this side of glory, then you're able to click that reset button and give yourself another chance. So today we're going to just talk about the afterthought. And what I mean is sometimes when you work very hard at managing your thinking, not saying negative things, you're not practicing negative things, but you're trying to speak life. You're trying to speak hope. You're trying to speak positivity, right? You're speaking it, but then you have this little creepy little thought. I call it the afterthought, because you're putting in work to speak life. You're putting in work to say, yes, I'm going to be, fine. Yes, I'm coming out of this. Yes, I will be healed. Yes, I'm going to recover. Yes, I will get delivered from, the drugs or my trauma. I will get better. I will be stronger. And you're working that. You're professing that. But then you got this little creepy thought that comes across. It could be in the middle of the night. It could be while you're driving your car. It could be while you're taking that little nice brisk walk. You try to find a place of peace. You try to find a place of, comfort and solitude. And here comes this creepy thought that's very nagging. I'm trying to be very specific with my words today. You get this very nagging thought that will come in, and although it could be very small, its intention is to unravel and undo all of the professing that you have done. And I call it the afterthought. The afterthought. And I want to talk about that because I think that, sometimes we get used to having this little nagging afterthought and we entertain it. We allow it to stay. Instead of us kicking it out and intentionally coming back in with, oh no, I will be fine. I will get better. We entertain it. We entertain it. We allow that to be our truth. And over time, the afterthought just becomes the thought. It becomes what you're practicing. It's becoming what you're believing now. It's becoming what you're thinking on a regular basis. And it will attempt to undo all of the work that you put in to work on yourself to become a better person for yourself. Okay? So let's just talk about that. Let's talk about how sneaky that little nagging thought is. And I say that because it is very sneaky and intrusive. The thoughts that you may have that's trying to come and undo all of the work that you put in, all the work that you're trying to put in. Whenever you've decided, it could be this moment, you can decide, I want to do better. I want to, come out of this place, this dark place, this place of addiction, this place of confusion, this place of trauma, this place of hurt, this place of grief. You could be saying to yourself, I want to come out this place, this mentality, this poverty mentality. And poverty, I don't mean just finances, but I just mean this poverty mentality, hopelessness. And you could be saying, I want to come out of this. And then you start putting in that work. You're reading the material. You are listening to healthy podcasts such as Renewed Mind Revolution podcast. And you're exercising, and you are putting in the work, right? You're connecting all the right dots. And then you find yourself in a moment where this very sneaky and intrusive thought will come in and say to you that it's going to be harder than what you think. You've been doing this for such a long time. What makes you think that, this is something that you really can do? What makes you think that this is something that you really can handle? I mean, you're being in denial. Your grandmother told you that you would never be anything. Your grandfather told you, your mother told you, your aunties. You have a whole lot of people who see something that you just in denial about saying about yourself. They've seen you at your lowest. They know you. They know that you've done this over and over and over again. So why are you even trying? Just wearing yourself out. It is inevitable. Come on, somebody. It's inevitable what's going to happen. So you might as well just stop. This is just too much. You've been hurt too much. You've been through too much pain, too much trauma. You've been broken. It's nowhere in the world you can undo or have this be something more than what it is. This, how can you recover from this intrusive thoughts? Come in and begin to feed you all of this information. You come from a whole line of people who've done the same thing. Nobody has ever changed. Nobody has ever, accomplished anything, or, no one has ever come out of the place that you're in. None of the people are in that. That's just the way it is. You too old, you too young, you too everything. Okay? And that's how the intrusive thought works. And you might say to yourself, oh, that's cool, but I'll just knock that out. But you got into this place that originally you were from because you didn't. So the intrusive thoughts, it kind of feels like it has a right to come in and begin to just, tell you about you, tell you what you're not able to do, what you're not able to handle, what, that you won't be productive, that you won't be strong enough to resist the addiction, to resist the temptations, to resist old habits. Okay? It would try to feed you these things. Your struggle. The one of the worst things that I think that intrusive thoughts, which is the afterthought, can do is tell you that this place that you're in will never end. The place that you are in will never end. And that is the biggest lie ever. It is the biggest lie ever. But it feels real, right? It's amazing how powerful our thinking is. We talked about this a lot in other podcasts, but it's imperative for you to understand how powerful your thinking is. We know that our thinking can create symptoms that are not even real.
Breaking family ties. It's being called a groundbreaking revelation for our youth today, a weapon against unhealthy generational behavior and soul ties. Essential to our society's current dilemma. Let's take back our family, our home, our city. Let's change our minds. Breaking family ties. The answer to why we do what we do. Pick up your copy today, available at Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, and Nook.
So what do we do? What do we do? How do we handle the afterthought? How do we handle the intrusive thought? Well, the first thing we're going to do is what we're doing now. We are realizing, acknowledging, recognizing that that's exactly what it is. It comes to undo, unravel, challenge everything that you are attempting to do. It's just a nasty reminder of, your past, of your pain, of your shame, of your grief, of your guilt. It's an ugly reminder. And so, what the truth is that we should take the position of there's no room for that. There's no room for that. And we're not going to give it room. we're not going to give it an opportunity to do any more damage than it has already done before. See, a lot of times our, thinking about our situations, our circumstances, our positions, some things, of course, happen to us that is way out of our control, right? People have done things to you from a child up, right? Or as an adult, circumstances, situations, whatever, it's been done to you, have nothing to do with you, right? But our control comes in with how we handle it. I can't control what someone has done to me. If someone invaded your space, someone harmed you or hurt you, or spoke bad about you, or physically done something, or emotionally scarred you. I mean, there's nothing you did to warrant it. No reason someone could say you deserved it. None of these things. Absolutely, positively not. But how we took a position after that, right? So if we decided, intentionally or not, but if we took a position of, damning ourselves, making ourselves feel as if we are guilty, taking responsibility and blame for what has happened to us, then that's something that we have to take the responsibility for. That's our part. It was our position. It was our position to, begin to just accept that negative thinking, that, damning ourselves or condemning ourselves, or, like I said, taking responsibilities for other people and their actions towards us. That was our choice to say, well, it's my fault. I must have caused that. I must have. And it's not a blaming thing for you. I'm not in no way blaming you no more than I would be blaming myself. But it's just a position that we took. Please understand that. That's what I'm saying. It's our position. People who suffer from, depression, right? They don't want to be there. They didn't ask for that, right? But the position is, if I decide, or took a position of, well, this is what happened. This is where I am, and I don't want to participate anymore. I don't want to, get up from here. I don't want to. I'm trying, but I just can't, and just keep saying that I'm trying, but I just can't. I'm trying, but I just can't. If I am repeatedly saying that, then I'm never going to be able to come out of that place. You know, um, I talk about anxiety a lot. I'm trying to just give a good example so that you guys can hear the what I'm trying to explain about the position, with a position that we have taken, so that we can know how to take this back. Okay, so my point is to show you how to take this back. So, for example, with anxiety, we know that anxiety can make you feel completely numb, can make you feel disconnected. It can make you feel paralyzed. It just brings all these crazy symptoms, right? So, for example, say that your anxiety was triggered by some form of trauma, and it's not your fault. Of course, say it's an accident, a car accident. It's a terrible car accident. Something really bad happened in this car accident. Now you're afraid to drive or get in a car, right? And so every time you get to a car, you start having anxiety. You cannot focus. Everything goes blurry. And then you say, I am done. I'm not doing this ever again. I'm not getting back into a car. And you constantly, every time you go towards it, you say, nope, can't do it. Nope, I won't do it. Nope, I won't do it. No, I can't do it. No, I can't. No, I won't. No, I can't. No, I won't. Once again, the accident was not your fault. The trauma that came after the accident is not your fault, right? But intentionally saying, I'm never doing this again. I can't do this again. I won't do this again. I can't do this again. I won't do this again. That's your position. That's the position that you took. And with that position and that type of thinking that you constantly repeated to yourself, made you incapable at this point to do it, because you constantly say, I just can't, I just can't, just can't, just can't. But we know how powerful the mind is. We know that, saying that it's going to make you paralyzed and not be able to do it. So understand this. The total opposite is possible too. There are people who have gotten into cars and got into major accidents, and people have actually died. And they got back in the car and they drove, right? And that's not saying that your situation makes you weak or anything. Not one bit. It does not mean that. That was just a position that you took. That was your takeaway from it. I'm never gonna drive again. I'm never gonna do this again because I just can't. 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 You fed it so much it became a fact. Hear me. You fed it so much it became your fact. So the other person got in the same accident. Somebody, was deceased, but they said, this is terrible, horrible, but I gotta go to work. I have nobody to depend on. I have to do this, and they just go. They might deal with it in another way, but it's just not the fact that they just say, I'm never getting in a car, I'm never driving, I'm never doing this again. They just didn't take that position. They took another position. It could be anything else. Okay. They might avoid certain streets. They might not go on the expressway. They might, just take something else, but they're not taking that position. And so the point that I'm making is the positions that we take, right, created this fact, and which is an illusion. It's not true. It created this fact for us. And then therefore you practice this thinking, right, over and over and over and over again. And it became your reality. Your thinking became your reality. So that's the power of our thinking. So once again, we go back to, if we can create this false illusions, these fake, scenarios, if we could do that by the position that we've taken in our lives, then we could do the total opposite, right? If we could create this negative, which something would never happen, this flight scenarios versus the fight scenarios, if we could create these all the time, then understand that we could do the total opposite. You can say over and over again and then put into practice, yes, I can. It's not going to be easy, right? Because you had to work yourself into the I can't. So you have to work yourself into I can. And then just do it over and over and over. It's going to put practice, work. Because, even in the faith area, okay, you have to put your works and your faith together. Works and faith goes together. Can't just say, I believe, and yet don't act as if you do. It's an action. Faith is an action word, right? It moves. It's alive. It has to be something that is put to work in order for us to, say and show that this is true. This is what I believe. So it's the same thing. You have to put into the work. And it is something that once you start doing, you will have what we started off this whole conversation about, is that afterthought. You will have that afterthought. It's going to remind you of the beginning, but it doesn't have power over you. That's what we're talking about today. It exists. It's going to come. It's going to try, because that's what it's been doing forever. Normally you entertain it. Normally you will engage with it. But this time you're not. This time you're not. You're not going to engage with it because you know the truth. And the truth is, yes, you can change this. Yes, you can get better. Yes, you can get stronger. Although it's telling you something the total opposite of that, it's a lie. It is a lie. And you know that because you have, number one, been equipped with the truth. Number two, you've been there before. You've accomplished things that it said before that you could not do. You know, the intrusive thoughts telling you what you can't do and what you can't handle. It's done that before, and you've proven it to be a lie. So you know it's a lie. You know that it's a lie. And so you take that same faith, knowing that it's a lie, and you get it to work. You put it to work. And you begin to say over that situation, over that circumstance, the total opposite of what you have been feeding yourself before. Yes, I will, be healed from this addiction. Yes, I will be healed from this trauma. I will come out of this place of hurt and pain and shame. I will start this business that I have been procrastinating for forever. I will go back to school and get, the degree that I need for my promotion or need or want, for, my life, for growth, for, you know, uh, maturity, for, educational purpose, just for life lessons. I mean, it's so many things that I can list that we can say that you're going to now be able to say yes to. Yes, I can. I don't live by the mistakes of my past. I'm not bound by it. I'm not chained to them. I'm not chained to the mistakes of my ancestors, grandma, grandpa, anybody's mistakes. I'm not chained to that. That's not my mistakes is not who I am. My mistakes is what I've done, but it's not who I am because I am growing and I am, elevating to another place in my life. And so I would not be bound by the choices that I made in my early years, my 20s, and I'm now 50, 60, and you're still allowing your 20s to determine the rest of your life. Come on, let's be realistic, people. You've done that early in your life. You made those choices early in your life. You don't have to be bound by that guilt. I've shared with you before one saying that I loathe is you made your bed, you lie in it, right? Okay. I don't like that. I don't like that saying at all because people have really stuck with that, feeling like they made these mistakes, they made these choices, and there's no hope, there's no change for them. And that's just not true. We're not bound by our mistakes. We're not, stuck there in that place. But we, with the grace of God, are able to live again, to thrive, to grow, to soar. And so that's what this is about. Pushing away the afterthought, taking away its power by exposing. I talk a lot about exposing the truth. Exposing, when you expose the lie, this is good, y'all. This is real good. When you expose the lie, you are exposing the truth. Come on, somebody. If I expose the lie, then I'm exposing the truth. And so that's what we do here on this podcast. We expose the lie so that we can see and expose the truth. And I hope that you're getting that today. I hope that somebody is getting the revelation that they need to get up from that place of hurt, get up from that place of shame, get up from that place of brokenness and declare and decree that they're going to live again. Like you thought it was going to break you. You thought it was going to keep you there, but it cannot because you know the truth. It has no power. It is a lie. It is a lie. And the thing is, our mind is so powerful that it can present a lie as if it is the truth. That's how powerful our thinking is. That it's a straight lie. You're going to fall out. You're going to faint. You're going to die. You're going to whatever. And, you're standing there, people who, who deal with anxiety know exactly what I'm talking about. Would say, you're going to, fall out. You're going to blank out. You're going to lose your thoughts. You're going to pass out. You're going to, faint. You're going to lose your breath, all this what negative, 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 and they're all lies. They're just presenting to you this false reality, this fake news, fake news that would never ever come to pass. But it presents it so well because our minds can take that and begin to create these symptoms. So it'll say you're gonna fall out, you're gonna faint, whatever. And because you start feeling symptoms of shakiness or heart rate and hands sweaty and blurred vision, then you begin to believe, oh my God, I really am sick. Oh my God, I really am gonna fall out. Oh my God, I really am gonna faint. Because it actually took your words and your thinking and it began to create the perfect scenario for you to think that this is true. So now every time you think that, those symptoms can come up. But I am here to tell you that you can take those symptoms and kick them right out the door because they're fake. They're not, it does not have power over you. It's just a lie your mind has brought up to you to tell you this is the truth. Do you really feel these things? Absolutely. That's not what I'm saying when I say it's a lie. What I mean is that it is just a lie telling you that this is where you're going to always be. This is your truth. You are sick. You are broken. You are hurt. It will never get better. It's just lying. It's just lying. And I think it's amazing. I always say that because I just think the way our brain is designed, there has to be a God because it's so powerful. It's so powerful that they literally can create something that's not even there. So let's do the opposite. Let's begin to speak life. Let's begin to speak health. Let's begin to say to ourselves, yes, this is a tough spot, but this is not the end. This is, not where I'm going to stop. I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to mature. I'm going to continue to thrive and soar. I mean, let's say that. Let's speak over our lives and take that afterthought and kick it to the curb. Come on, let's see it when it comes up. What I describe this as sneaky afterthought. Let's see that sneaky afterthought as it comes and just push it away as quick as possible. As soon as it comes, don't entertain it. Don't look at it. Don't repeat it. Kick it out real quick. Look, you got the power. You got the authority to do it. And I believe you can. And I know that you can. Looking forward to hearing your feedback today. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope it helped you today. And I thank you so much for taking the time. Please share this with someone. You know somebody who is experiencing this type of struggle. You know somebody. So don't be selfish. Share it. Not because I need you to share and have so many listeners, but because I think, it is important for us to share something good, and to help somebody that we are thinking about or care about or know that is struggling. I watch this young lady often on social media struggle. She's struggling and everybody is like watching her struggle. And so I want you to share this with somebody that you know is going to need this. Thank you for listening to Renew Mind Revolution podcast. This is your host, Michelle Kakal. It has been my honor and my pleasure. Thank you once again for taking the time to listen today. Share it with somebody else. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Remember, I love you, but God loves you more.